Hello, you. It's me. And this clip I am taking from Night Convos. Gypsy leaves baby alone. She's driving us all nuts, and more. And I'd seen this clip a couple times, but it didn't occur to me what Gypsy actually said until Night Convos pointed out what she said. So I'm just going to play it real quick, and you'll see what I mean in a minute.
2-month vaccines. Oh my God, that was so hard to watch. I had to walk away. I could not.
Okay, so what Gypsy said was she was bringing her daughter in to get her shots. So you do a round of shots when they're about a month or two old. And she said that it was so hard to see her child getting shots that she had to walk away. And if you further on the clip, she'll say that if my child wants to associate pain with anything, she can associate the pain with the nurse or the doctor, but not with her. That is not what happened. This is what most likely happened. Is when you see your child in pain and afraid, and you can feel it as a mother, you feel it like it's your own. And the first instinct you have is to hold your child and to comfort them. And Night Convos Lovey, she went into great detail about the types of things that you could do to comfort your child, whether it's, just holding them, rubbing their little feet. She went through a whole lot of things, and she's absolutely right. You do what works for you and your baby, quite frankly. I remember when my daughter got her first set of shots, and I remember I was sitting down. She was on my lap. I was holding her. And the nurse said, okay, we're going to start. And the first shot went off without a hitch. She just kind of stared for a minute, looked down, and then she just let out a big old cry. And my reaction was to hold her and cry with her. I even apologized to the nurse. I said, I'm so sorry. I just hate to see my daughter cry. It's awful. It's so awful. And I just held her and cuddled her. And I think there was maybe 2 shots, 3 shots. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I just held her and comforted her and rocked a little with her, sang to her, even in my tears. But yes, seeing your child getting a shot, it's going to hurt, and it's a horrible feeling, but it's also necessary to keep your child healthy. But did I want to run away without my child? No. If anything, I wanted to grab her and run away and keep her safe. That's a mother's instinct, is to hold on to your child, keep them safe, make them feel secure. But Gypsy's attitude is, oh no, I don't want to see the little tears, and I just had to get out of the room. So what you did was you left your 2-month-old baby, supposedly, you left your 2-month-old baby crying and in fear because you couldn't handle it. Crying and in fear because you couldn't handle it. You couldn't hold your child, comfort your child. That wasn't your first instinct. Your first instinct was to run away. Why does this person have custody of a child, if the child exists again? Because the way that she talked about it, like it was no big deal. Oh my goodness, it was so scary, I had to leave. You don't have a mother's instinct. That's not a mother's instinct. I've never seen a mother act like that before. Just run away while your child is in fear and crying because it hurts, and you run away. If this child does exist, this child needs to be taken away from Gypsy. Gypsy has no problem running away. Oh, I was learning to drive when I was 9 months pregnant, and right after my baby was born, I was learning how to drive so I can get my license. And, oh, well, Ken and I mean, we'd been bogged down with baby for a month. We should have a night out, just the two of us, to reconnect. And, oh, well, my friend had tickets to this show. And, yeah, it was most of the night. I came home early in the morning. But it was so worth it because, you know, mama's mental health is so important. What about baby? When is baby gonna come first? Because if you're being such a good mother and doing it all, baby comes first. Baby comes with you. Baby is always beside you because she's a baby. She's a little tiny helpless human being that you had no problem walking away from when they were crying and in fear. That says nothing about the baby. That says everything about you, Gypsy. And it's disgusting. Where's CPS? Why does this woman have a child? This woman should not have any children. And Ken seems to be just as bad as Gypsy. I don't think he's a father. I don't think she's a mother. How do you walk away from your child? I am so perplexed that your first instinct is to run away. That poor child, if that child exists, that poor child is already being abused. Well, not abused, neglected. That child is already being neglected. That child at only 2 months old, if we are to believe, the child is 2 months old, is already learning that mommy isn't there for her. Babies feel that, you know. They do. I know they're little tiny human beings. I know that they don't have a lot of memory in there yet because they're still so tiny and developing. But they do remember feelings, emotions, and when there's a lack of emotions. She has no connection to this child. In fact, in the same video where she's folding laundry, she keeps referencing her baby. It's like right here, it's right here. She's looking at it as she's yelling. She's yelling when a baby is supposed to be right next to her, her baby. And she's yelling through the house. And then she shows a pile of clothes where I thought that's where the baby was. I was a little bit confused. This is insane. If there is a child, why is this woman taking care of this child? Because she's not taking, sure, you can feed them, you can burp them, you can change them. Those are all the mechanical requirements of being a parent. But where the fuck is the love? Where is the nurturing? Holding your child, loving your child, being around your child, being attached to the hip with your child because you love that child so much and all you want to do is love them and protect them. That's all you want to do. And she didn't. Gypsy didn't protect her child. She didn't comfort her child. What is wrong with her? There is such a huge disconnect. And if there is in fact a child, then this child is already suffering. This child should be taken away, in my opinion. That's my opinion. It's a strong opinion. But Gypsy has no love for anybody but herself. And it just makes me sick to think that there is a little baby there that is already suffering, that is already being neglected, that is already not being taken care of. Because sure, the mechanical things are important, but you also need to nurture. You need to love your child. Running away from your child because it's crying is not nurturing. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm getting very repetitive, but it just shocks me that if I were the nurse, I would be shocked. I might even call CPS at that point, because that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Just insane. It's just insane. I hope to God there is no baby, because if there is, this baby is already suffering, and it's only supposedly 2 months old. It's just sickening. Anyway, that's all I got to say.